How did you propose to Nan?
That's 57 years ago.
Straight in the deep end.
Just trying to think.
That's got the cogs ticking, isn't
it? Yeah. I think it might have been in the car coming from my mum's house and near her mum's house. I'm sure it was.
Which is, but to people watching, that is literally a minute round the corner.
What's that?
Nan's, Grandad's is literally a minute round the corner.
Oh no, this is from Blackshots Lane where I was,
right.
Where I lived, and we was coming round to here. But she'd probably totally different if she was here.
That's what, you was just driving and just thought, you know what, sod it.
Yeah.
Do you want to marry me?
Yeah. It's quite an interesting question, that.
Yeah. That's probably something you haven't really thought about in many years.
57 years now, I think, isn't it? I was 18 when I moved into here, and that's when we got married. We had our honeymoon in here.
Well, that was going to be my question. One of my questions later on was about your honeymoon. Where did you go for it? But if you ever did go on one.
Yeah. Yeah. We, do you want it now?
Yeah.
We didn't have an honeymoon. We come in here and we painted and decorated and moved all the stuff into here. And it was 3 years after that we had an honeymoon. I'd taken the engine out of my Mini, and Chris, your nan, had got a reboard done for me because she was working for a garage at the time, Dano's, and they got it bored as one of theirs. I rebuilt the engine over my mum's house, put it in the car. Didn't know at the time that I'd left out a oil seal on the flywheel, because the early Minis used to have one in the flywheel, but the later one didn't have it in the flywheel. And I put the flywheel on the best of the bits to make it work. And we went all the way to Cornwall with oil going over the clutch.
Right.
And all the way back.
That's what made it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's no way I was going to stop. And
whereabouts in Cornwall did you go?
We went down to Lou.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Lou Paulperro. It was right up on the Paulperro, actually. It was right up on the cliff in a tent that we borrowed from my cousin. And we took Chris's brother with us. He had another little tent outside. And we spent a fortnight down there. Then come back, and that'd take the van to pieces again.
So you didn't have the caravan then at that time? It was
No.
So obviously that gets us on to the actual wedding day. Now, can you describe what the whole wedding day was like, or even actually let's start with the events leading up to the wedding, because people say, oh, it's just the wedding day, but there's always a big preparation, you know, the 5 weeks the 5 days, sorry, not weeks, leading up to it. Can you remember and describe those events?
Chris did. She had the wedding dress made, and the bridesmaids' dresses were made. We went to Romford Market to buy the material. And
also, it was handmade, the dress?
Yeah. There's a friend when we used to live in Aveley, there was people living next door, and she she worked for a firm called A&J Gordon's, which
Right.
was over on the Ockenden Estate near Ford's, Spears place. And she used to do all the cutting out of the dresses.
Got ya.
And she said, if you get the material, I'll make the wedding dresses for you. Yeah, fair enough. And Tweethead here, he put them on top. When we come back to get in the van, I put the rolls of material on the top of the van. And then I got in the van and I drove off. But the only problem with that was no roof rack on the car. So when I went round the multi-storey car park to come down, they went and fell off the top of the car and landed on the ends of all the material. And we only just about managed to have enough material to put it back together. So, yeah, that was the first good bit.
How far away was that from the wedding? For the actual wedding day?
There was only a month or so before the wedding.
So Nan's probably already stressed out as it is, let alone now you've got to tell her that it's her potential wedding dress or materials.
No, she was there with us.
Oh, right.
Yeah, she come with us because she wanted to pick the material. And Josie was just there to see whether she could cut it out and how much material we needed.
There's a few words that come out of
that. No comment. Yeah, come to the day. It was only from what, quarter of a mile, is it, from Nan's house to the church?
Yeah, probably about quarter of a mile. Yeah, wouldn't say it's any more than that.
She was late. I was late.
Nothing unusual for a wedding.
No. Me and my best man, we come up over my mum's house. And
who was your best man?
Terry. He was my cousin. And
how come you picked him?
Because I'd done best man for him.
Right.
I'd done best man for him, and then he done best man for me. But his was a lot easier than mine because he married a twin. And they got married in Canterbury. And I thought, well, Canterbury, it's going to be the old cathedral and all this. It wasn't. It was a little church round the back. And then you had, we had a coach because they lived in Gravesend. And the two girls, they was twins. But my cousin and his best mate, me, we weren't twins. And we went down the motorway, and according to our bus driver, he wasn't supposed to be on the motorway. He was supposed to be going through the towns because they had an insurance to take them on a certain route. But our driver, he thought, well, there's no way that we're ever going to get there on time, or near the time. And he went out onto the motorway, and the other bus driver, which was the other twin, and he kept going on the old road, wouldn't turn off it. And you've seen the advert on the telly or on the comedy programs where the bride is going round and round and keep coming back to the church. We had 3 of them going round and round. And he said, the vicar said, if I don't turn up soon, I've got a funeral, he says, do something about it. Yeah, and then Terry come over here and he done mine for me. You know, we was a bit late, but not that late. And then
so you didn't leave Nan at the altar, did you?
No. wouldn't be worth it if I'd done that.
Yeah, I don't think you'd see the next day.
No. Yeah, it's but it all went off all right. It's everybody enjoyed themselves. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's
So you had it at the church in Horndon, and then after that, did you have like a party somewhere, or?
village hall.
Yeah.
We had it in the village hall. It's and I think Badetti done the food because Nan used to work for him, and I think he done it. If I remember rightly, he done the food.
Mm.
That's all I had to do was supply some money.
So you just had to get your wallet out, basically.
Yeah, but Ma and Pa, they Chris's mum and dad, they pay for most of it, you know. But
That's what it was,
I
though. Back,
didn't-
it was quite traditional back in the day, wasn't it? For the wife's
parents,
dad, wasn't it, to pay for most of the wedding?
Yeah, yeah.
It's not so much nowadays, though.
No, because weddings cost so much now, and you know, it's you've got to save up for a few years now to get married.
Because I know in America they still do the whole, a lot of the time anyway, the wife's father pays for the wedding. That's still normally quite traditional, especially in like the southern parts anyway.
Yeah, yeah. As I say, you know, weddings are so much costly now. You know, Chrissy's sister, I think she got married after us because she was younger than Chris was. But some of the things that we got free up the church, the church had put a price on them when they got married.
Right.
So it was like you had to pay extra.
Yeah.
You know, and it's...
So you chose the right year then, basically.
Well, we got in first. Yeah.
Do you remember what your first dance song was?
No. No. I didn't like dancing.
So did you have a first dance?
And yeah, I didn't like dancing. Chris and your nan and her sister, they used to like jiving together, and they carried on for that. And I sort of disappeared a bit, can try and keep out of the way. But it was a good night. It's and most of the people, because the Woodgate family had been in the village for like 4 generations.
Yeah.
And they was all known. So when they got married, there's lots of people who didn't know that were just come and see us.
They just come, yeah.
You know, it's.
Did you do your own vows, or was it like write your own vows out, or did you all the traditional ones?
I think it was half and half. The vicar done part, and then we done part as well.
Yeah, like the whole sickness and health, that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, that was normal. You know, it's because when we got married, it was pretty much a set down rules.
Yeah.
And regulations. You know, it's but it all went off all right. So that's all I was worried about, whether it went off all right.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, just for a question, in case anyone out there is, wondering, when do you know that you're ready to marry someone? I'd like to actually ask the question.
Everybody is probably different.
Yeah.
I would say that not 2 people realise it at the same time. It's when you actually feel ready. And
do you think you ever feel ready though?
Sorry?
So do you think you ever actually feel ready, or is it just like a feeling that it's like,
no, it's...
I want to spend the rest of my life with this person?
That's it. That's being ready.
Right.
You know, you feel as if you want to be there with them all the time. And it's everybody would probably have a different time, different place. And you see some of these people that don't make it after like 3 or 4 years. They couldn't have been ready in the first place.
Right.
You know, it's but that is the person themselves. It's not something that you try and find the reason for. You know, if you try and look into the reason, you'll probably find that something was wrong before you actually got married.
Yeah.
There
There wasn't something quite right before.
Yeah. But when you feel like it, you both got to feel like it. You know, and if you ask them and they say no, you know you got it wrong.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So
did you and Nan have a sort of a talk before you asked, like, to make sure that she was ready? As in, like, oh, you know,
no,
I don't know how you go about it. 'Cause I know some people that have that like pre-talk of, oh, if I was to ask you, would you say yes today?
Yeah.
Just as like a, you know, as a tee up sort of thing.
yeah.
But then they don't do it for like another year
But
or two.
in my mind, that would mean that you wasn't ready.
Right.
If you was to say it, you know, well, do you think we could you know, then I don't think you're ready. But if you think you're ready and you think they are ready, you put a question and it's either a yes or a no.
Yeah.
You know, it's no good.
I suppose it's that word could, isn't it? It's like, it's a bit of a,
Yeah.
you know, it's not very reassuring.
That's it. It could or maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's but it's just one of those things.
Mm.
You know, it's but the women will probably remember more than what the men do.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Because it is more of a, of course, it's a, you know, it's a day for both of you, but it is more a day for the woman, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. And you try and make it special for them.
Mm.
You know, if you don't try and make it special, you'll always have that between you.
Yeah.
You know, did you really want to get married?
Mm.
You know, and you have to try and find an answer then, you know. And 9 times out of 10, the bloke puts his foot right in it.
And would you agree as well that I saw a thing the other day, and it was a case of it in both a relationship and in marriage, you're not just marrying the other person, you're marrying the family. Would you agree with that?
Yes and no. No, if the family keep butting into things that you do,
Yeah.
because eventually you'll get fed up with it. But if you and the wife want to sort of go your separate ways, you know, from the family, then you know that you've made the right decision. You know, sometimes families want things done. It's not so much now as what it was when we got married. People gave you advice, shall we say, and sometimes the advice wasn't as good as what they thought it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, but nowadays it seems to be more that people say, well, you've made your bed, you either stay in it or you get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't butt in quite so much as what they used to.
Got ya.
It's the youngest generation change, you know.
And then, obviously, on the day of the wedding, you know, you're standing by the altar. You're late already, and then now you're thinking, "Oh shit! How late is Nan gonna be?" What's the feeling like when you actually, you know, the music starts playing, and then obviously it's the anticipation, and then you see Nan walking down towards you? What is that feeling like?
Yeah, you see a lot of them, and they turn around and they look at them to come down the aisle. But back when we got married, it was the excitement of seeing when she got to you, and you wouldn't turn round. Your best man would turn round and say, "Yes, she's still coming." You know.
Oh, so you would have to face the other way the whole time?
I did.
Yeah.
you know, didn't turn round to have a look to see what was happening. But when she was near enough there, I could hear her feet, you know, so I did have a quick look then. But yeah, it was. But nowadays, you know, it's basically you might as well walk down there together because you turn around and you're watching them come right down the aisle. Most of them nowadays, don't they? You know.
And people would say that they're always really nervous standing on there. Do you remember being quite nervous and
Yeah.
anxious?
Yeah, it's. I think it's one of those things that is in the back of your mind and not in the front. Is somebody is going to say something, like when they say, "Is there anybody here that?"
Yeah, they're like object sort of
and
thing.
you think to yourself, "Oh, I wonder whether one of those sods that are sitting in the pews is going to turn around and say yes," you know, just as a thing, you know, not that they want to do anything wrong, but it's just something they want to do. You know?
Yeah.
It's.
So why do you think people do get? Because obviously I'm not married, but I've always thought, why would you be nervous on your own wedding? Because surely, you know, you've gone through, you've asked the question, she said yes, you know that she's turned up to the venue, right? So you know that she's got the dress, you know that you are going to get married. She's not going to say no then and there, unless for something's come out within the last hour. But
Yeah,
why would you be nervous?
That is it. Until you actually sign the book and turn your back on the front of the all the audience that you've got, because basically that's what they are. Everybody is looking at you
I'm just watching
and just watching for something to go wrong. You know, like you might stand on the
a bit
train,
of drama,
of the headpiece, you know, and you go like this, you know, or something might happen. You're always that nervous until you get to the hall, and then you think to yourself, well, nothing's happened. It don't matter now because everybody's mucking about. The kids are running around, you know,
yeah.
and the food's coming out. And the only thing you worry about then is there's enough food to go around everybody.
Yeah.
And then you know you've made it.
As opposed to what I've heard some people say that the reason they were nervous is because it is a bit like public speaking, technically. Because when you're saying your vows, could be 100 odd people watching you.
Yeah.
And as you said, they're waiting for something to mess up. So if you stumble your words, they go, "Way."
Yeah.
Aren't they?
Yeah, it can be awkward, you know, because when you say your piece, then you don't know whether all the family that's come from the other side, whether it's the wife's side or your side, whichever one you are, you don't know whether you're going to upset somebody or not.
No.
With what you say, you know, so you just have to keep your fingers crossed.
And then just lastly on the whole topic of marriage and wedding, I wanted to sort of do just a quick segment on this. There's a lot of, in today's society, across, you know, social media and young people between, you know, the ages of 20 and 30, right? That sort of category, that say sort of marriage is pointless. You know, it's pointless for men. There's no real gain to it. There's no real, you know, why should I? Why would I? What's your views on that, and what would you say to that, and to those younger generations say that?
Take advice from your parents, because you can't live thinking what if. You shouldn't think what if. You know, it's one of those older things. The newer one where, as you say, they probably live together until they're in their 40s, and they they might have been living together for 10, 15 years. And then you might turn around and say, one or the other of you might turn around and say, I don't feel like this no more, I'm going.
Yeah.
You know, where if you have got a licence between the two of you, you either try to work it out or it's a complete break. You have to think about what you're doing. Where if you're not actually got that licence to say we're married, they might decide, well, that's it, we're off, and they just disappear because it doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah.
If you're married, it can be a 50-50 split of whatever you got. But if you're not married, it could be that I'll just walk out and leave it. And then the other person says, well, it's no good you coming back because you ain't getting nothing. You know, it's...
And you mentioned there, I'll look at your, take note from your parents. What if that person's parents are completely divorced? Or,
divorce themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, well...
So, and someone's looking at it going, oh, what's the point of marriage? They haven't got someone that's looking.
I had my first dad. I was only around about 5 then. And then when my stepdad, when he left, it was... you can still take advice, but you have to work out in your own mind whether it is good for you or not. If somebody, because one of them can be biased, they don't like what the other one done.
Yep.
But you have learned from that. You have learned that it's something that they didn't like. That's why they don't like it. So you take what you think is the right thing in your own mind. If you don't think for yourself, then you'll finish up like they are.
So do you think that marriage isn't for everyone then? Or do you think everyone should try?
I think at times it's better off not to get married if you're not sure. If you're sure you want to get married,
then just do it, yeah.
Then do it. But if you're not sure,
don't just rush in.
Or somebody has said something about the other half and you think, I don't like that idea, then don't do it and just live together and see what happens.
Yeah.
And then after a period of time, you might try it again. Do you want to get married? And they might say yes. There again, they might say no. It's, yeah. My first dad, he disappeared when I was 5. And I remember him going. And my second dad, he was going out with somebody else. And my mum, she was 20 years older than him. So it's that was something that you got to look at. When somebody they get together and there's a big gap. Should you get married? That could be a reason for just living together, not getting married because of the gap.
Yeah.
And the gap will always come up. Doesn't matter what you do or what you say, that gap will always come up at some time or other. And you're either going to take it as you want or you do something about it.
So in essence, to end this off, it's a case of try and sort out the variables first before you take the next step or that leap, as they say.
Like courting, and you go to their place and she comes to your place, or vice versa, and you get to know what's good and what's bad, and you bring it together. Then if you want to, you get married. If you don't want to get married, well, entirely up to you.
Yeah.
It's But then you get lots of different things like property, money, other people. You know, you might get jealous of somebody if you're with them all the time. You might get jealous if you're not married. You'll get jealous of them talking to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've just got to go your own ways. It's not worth it. Not worth the aggro.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned.
I would agree with you. I would agree with you. So, but yeah, no, we'll leave that one there. That was a good end and a good way to round off everything about marriage. We'll probably touch onto it later down the line again, but it's there'll be more things that crop up.